for human life in this country? Is there even less value for the sentiments of individuals who want to celebrate their own customs? Viewers, both these stories I will talk about tonight in two different halves of India Upfront, but they're all connected in a certain way, and we'll talk about that. Viewers, like last night, I once again risk the anger, the ire of the ecosystem to bring you stories that are joined by a common thread. And that common thread or trait, I regret to inform you, viewers, is born out of an inexorable and unmistakable contempt for traditions associated with the Hindu faith. I am literally, viewers, literally, and I have to say this, sticking my neck out tonight, because the hate that I will receive, the threats that I will receive after this show, viewers, make it seem as if, viewers, this will be my last. But let not that get in the way. And let me tell you, this contempt for Hindu customs is heaped upon from all quarters. Let me give you an example. Diwali is policed by the courts on the account that it is polluting. Of course, no one talks about Eid in the same term, especially when goats are sacrificed and their blood collects in drains and on the streets. Jallikattu. Let's go to the 6 or 7 window. Jallikattu was also policed on grounds of cruelty, but not Eid, viewers. Bengal state government imposed restrictions on Durga idol immersions during Muharram. State governments control more than 40,000 temples, mostly in South India. But minority places of worship are more or less unregulated, left to do their own things. Now, viewers, increasingly we are seeing Hindu religious processions, congregations being targeted. The latest instance was from Palamu in Jharkhand. We brought you that story last evening. But as the ash settles in Palamu, Times Now's special investigation team embarked on a quest for the truth in an attempt to ascertain not only the facts, but who was also behind the attack. If you hear Asaduddin Owaisi, he hasn't even been to Palamu. No other channel, of course, has carried this story because they don't want to risk, viewers, the ire that I am prepared to risk. But he says it's the Hindus to blame. He's being fast and loose with the facts. Times Now's Tehseen discovered how a mosque was turned into a launch pad for the
Ground Zero, and we are just at that mosque from where it's been said that the stone pelting had begun. And you can see that these are all the stones, the bricks that have all been scattered over here on the top of this particular area of the mosque. And what we are learning is that the group A, that in fact belongs to the Shivratri Puja committee group, they allegedly said that the stone pelting started from the mosque area, and that's why perhaps you can see these big bricks, the pieces of stones lying over here on the top floor of the mosque. Behind me, Ajaz is showing you the visuals. That is the mosque you can see, and we are reporting exclusively from Ground Zero, showing you that what might have been happened. Remember, there was a crowd of around 200 to 300 people who were perhaps present at this particular area. But you see here again, these are the glass bottles. You see, viewers, these are the glass bottles lying over here just above the area of the masjid where we are reporting from. And these are the small pieces of the glasses. See, these are the small pieces of the glasses which we are showing you exclusively just only on Times Now to get a sense. And that is the area of masjid. You can see over here that how the stone pelting might have started. Entire area, this entire terrace, in fact, from where you can see the stones, the small particles of the small pieces of the glass and the bottles as well. With Vijay Ajaz, this is Tej reporting for Times Now from Palamu.
Eyewitnesses confirm that pelting did indeed begin from the mosque. So this is corroboration. Listen in, viewers.
मिठाई की दुकान हम लोग नाश्ता पानी यहीं कर रहे थे।
हाँ।
तो हम लोग देखे कि उधर से आदमी दौड़ के आया।
कहाँ से आया?
वो मस्जिद चौक से दौड़ के आया।
दिखाइए आजाद जी, यहाँ से दौड़ कर आए।
हाँ, दौड़ करके आया इधर। तो हम पूछे क्या हुआ जी? तो ना हम लोग को मुसलमान नहीं गेट लगाने दे रहा है। तो हम लोग को मारो तो सबके लगा हुआ था चोट उठ, माथा उठा में फटा हुआ था। तो फिर इधर से फिर उधर से देखे पत्थर ऊपर से चला आया और बहुत पत्थर चला।
ऊपर से कहाँ से आया पत्थर?
मस्जिद से पत्थर आया।
देखा अपने आंखों से?
देखा अपने आंख से देखा। हम यहाँ पर कम से कम 1.5 घंटा चला है। प्रशासन भी आई, प्रशासन को भी मार बजा और पब्लिक के ऊपर से खाली पत्थर चल रहा था।
अच्छा, कितने लोग होंगे ऊपर मस्जिद के जो पत्थरबाजी कर रहे थे?
लोग तो बहुत कम नजर आ रहे थे, मैंने 2-4 आ रहे थे।
लोग डरे हुए थे जब यहाँ पर ये सारी चीजें हो रही थी? क्या कुछ माहौल था?
हाँ, ये सब करकट उड़कर पर पत्थर आ रहा था, आदमी बच के चल रहा था। इधर से एक भी वार नहीं हो रहा था।
यहाँ से वार नहीं हो रहा था।
चौक पर एक अचानक बोरा मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, डंटा उंटा निकाला उला, पूरा मारा पीटी का स्टार्टिंग होने वाला था। तो हम लोग अचानक शटर गिरा दिए, गेट बंद कर दिए। गेट बंद करने के बाद हम लोग छत्ता पर जब चढ़े तो देख रहे कि बहुत सारा भीड़ पूरा जुम कर पूरा लड़ाई पूरा दोनों तरफ से हो रहा है, ईटाबाजी होते होते फिर मेरा दुहारी तक पूरा भीड़ आ गया। अब मेरे दुहारी तक पर पूरा पत्थर फेंका गया।
यहाँ पर भी शटर पे पत्थर फेंके गए थे?
पत्थर फेंके गए और पूरा हम लोग डर गए कि क्या होगा, कैसे क्या होगा। हम लोग तो रोने लगे घर के अंदर।
आपको ऐसा लग रहा था कि आपको टारगेट किया जा रहा है?
टारगेट किया जा रहा है। चावल नहीं था, कुछ नहीं था, फिर भी हम लोग कैसे अभी एक पुलिस के द्वारा चावल आटा मंगाए, आलू,
घर पे खाना भी नहीं था।
यहाँ का जो विधायक है उसको हम लोग फोन किए कि आकर कुछ मामला बढ़ने वाला है। ठीक है,
आपने फोन किया था उन्हें?
तो माहौल को शांत करने के लिए बुला रहे थे।
क्या बोले विधायक यहाँ?
वो बोले कि नहीं, कुछ बात नहीं बढ़ेगा, ये छोटा।
हम लोग यहाँ 40-45 साल से लगभग इस क्षेत्र में रह रहे हैं। बहुत ही डर के माहौल में हम लोग अभी रह रहे हैं और रात भर हम लोग मैंने जग के सोए, हम सोए ही नहीं है लगभग।
क्या बोले थे आप फोन करके उन्हें?
प्रमुख यही करीब 7:30 बजे के आसपास हमने जानकारी दिया, करीब 100 लड़का की भीड़ जमा हो गया है, से आप प्रशासन को तुरंत मदद कीजिए, तुरंत मदद लीजिए तुरंत। लेकिन जो है से वो बोले कि ठीक है। अब ये रात में बात हुई थी हम लोग के दोनों के बीच से, दोनों पक्ष से 5-5 लोग बैठेंगे, बैठने के बाद जो है से ये मामला को हम शांत करवा देंगे। ठीक है, तो इसी बीच कुछ
हिंसा से पहले आपने ये चीज बता दी थी उनको, फिर भी कोई एक्शन नहीं हुआ?
नहीं लिया गया एक्शन। तो हमको सबसे ज्यादा भारी दुख की बात हो रही है कि प्रशासन के आने के बाद भी दोनों तरफ से करीब 1-1.5 घंटा 2 घंटा तक पथराव होते रहे।
Viewers, the JMM and Congress coalition government in Jharkhand, instead of providing security so that Hindus can practice their beliefs, has instead done the unthinkable, unimaginable. In Deoghar, which is believed to be the abode of Lord Shiva and the 12 jyotirlinga, Section 144 has been imposed on Shivratri. Additional curbs have been placed on the Shiv ki Barat as well. What would compel the state to do such a thing? Bias, perhaps? One doesn't know, viewers. In Rajasthan, Kanhaiya Lal was cut down by the Sanatan se juda obscurantists. The chief minister there blamed, viewers, the Hindu community. In Bengal, you had a situation where, viewers, restrictions were imposed on Durga Puja processions so that Muharram could continue. Elsewhere in other states, Ram Navami processions came under deadly attack, even in the capital. In Palghar, 2 sadhus were lynched to death. In Delhi, Tahir Hussain confessed to police that he set up a rat factory to target Hindus. Even abroad, Hindus and symbols of Hinduism have been attacked from UK to Canada, Australia, and even Bangladesh. The attacks may vary, but the hate is consistent. What explains this? Same riot playbook, same hate. Let's open this up. It's a very serious issue. And I want to begin first with Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholar. I want to ask you, Mr. Sridhar, look, I know that when we engage in such debates, the Lutyens ecosystem will say, oh, we are bringing out scratching at old wounds. But this is easily contested. Because if that were the case, the BBC documentary should not have been screened at all in the first place or made. So let's not put the cart before the horse. viewers here. And Mr. Sridhar, I want to ask you, do you share this sense of Sanatan Dharma being under siege, or is it really a political machination by saffron parties to try and consolidate the Hindu vote bank? What is going on here?
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to all the viewers of Times Now channel. Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, the word Sanatana itself means eternal, timeless. So one thing that you, I, and everybody should be assured is Sanatana Dharma is eternal. That said, be it in the Balakandam of Srimad Ramayanam, be it in the Adi Parva of Sri Mahabharatam, the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam's first Parva, everywhere there is one particular incident which is described, which is Samudra Manthana, the churning of the ocean. Before all the wish-yielding cow, the wish-yielding tree and all of that comes out, the first thing that comes out during the churning of the ocean is halahalam or kalakutam, poison. And when everybody fears it, that is when Mahadeva, Lord Shiva, drinks it. Rigveda says, Keshi vishasya patrena rudrena pibatsaha. So very rightly this is happening around Shivratri. I'm sure let the poison and the poisonous thoughts and elements come out. I'm sure Lord Shiva will guide a beautiful way to this timeless civilization. That said, Rahul, one very quick comment. Every time we discuss this attack on temples, attack on processions, one thing that we need to remember is just not for Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism, any religion based in our country or from the West. Every religion, its fundamentals should be made so flexible and amendable that as the time requires, there should be small changes made conducive to the society. If the religion makes itself very rigid, not flexible, and remains in that same time period in which it was founded, then it will become a big problem for just not the Indian society, for any society where it thrives. So, be it Sanatana Dharma, which I or you may follow, and other religions, we should work for a solution which is a long time. And
yes,
every time this procession is attacked, it causes so much of agony for the people who have participated. This is all I can say.
Well, you're right. Accommodation is the key. And an accommodationist outlook is needed. But some in this country do not want to change with the times, says Dushyant Sridhar. And I want to bring in Tehseen Poonwalla. Can the onus only be on Hindus to ensure that the constitutional values of secularism are upheld in this country? Mr. Poonwalla, nafrat ka bazaar that Rahul refers to is here. You can see it in Palamu. But he doesn't talk about it. This is the one nafrat ka bazaar he will not refer to. And I'm not just talking about this nafrat ka bazaar. There are several others and I've referred to them and I've shown them to you. I don't know. Rahul Gandhi is headed to Cambridge, his alma mater, his alumnus, etc. Will he walk through those streets where Hindu homes were targeted recently outside of London? I'm not very familiar with the geography. And should he not?
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on the show. Namaskar to all your viewers, to Dushyantji and to my fellow panelists. First of all, kudos to Tejashree Nejas. Fantastic reporting like always. And Times Now, you've led in the front to bring out the truth. There are two issues here. I would just like to break them up. One, in your opening remarks, you spoke about the attacks that our Hindu fellow citizens are under, whether in India or abroad. And the question is that since 2014, why has this, as you rightly refer to, Nafrat ki Dukaan or Nafrat ka Bazaar spread? Who benefits from this hate? And to that extent, I can only think of one political party that seems to be gaining from this hate and is whipping up this hate in state after state. Or then we have the most incompetent home minister in the country who knows that this pattern, as you referred to in your opening remarks, is happening across the country. Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, etc. And still at a national level can do nothing, not even call a meeting of DGPs to ensure that this pattern cannot happen. So either he's benefiting from it or he's incompetent. The pick I leave to the BJP. Point number two. We speak about a number of things, including opening up temples, Hindu temples, freeing Hindu temples, something Ishkaran is advocating for. Who's in power? Is it us, the ecosystem? Is the Narendra Modi government? The same Narendra Modi government. You said that Rahul Gandhi is going to England. He is going to England. You asked that should he go to Hindu homes that were attacked? I think he should. But I'll ask you, I was with you on Times Now in this very chair and you were sitting here, and it took 3 days for the Indian ambassador in England to react until you, Rahul, kept breaking the stories and asking the Indian government to wake up and smell the coffee. The British police had tweeted a fake news. You had to expose the British police. It's not your job. It's not my job. It's not the ecosystem's job. This government has failed. So the question is that this hatred that has taken place in our country, and who's come in this hatred to pour oil in this fire? Asaduddin Owaisi, the B team of the BJP. Any riot anywhere in the country, 2 elements you'll find: BJP and Owaisi. Why? Who's benefiting? And therefore, Rahul, if I'm on your show today not discussing the economy or not discussing why temples are not being opening up, the failure or the benefit is of the current BJP government, which I think now is time to go.
Mr. Poonwalla, law and order is a state subject.
It is, sir.
When, and at the slightest pretext, if the center orders CRPF or central forces to go into a state on the back of even a pogrom, as we saw after the elections in Bengal, hue and cry erupts about the murder of the federal system.
Yes.
Right? So let's not go there.
But
That's one second. No, one second. I'm just bringing the facts. No, I'm just putting out the facts in a very calm way. No, 1 minute.
SOPs,
I want to come out to this point that you just made. Your government, it's your government, the Congress and JMM in the state of Jharkhand, instead of shutting down this nafrat ka bazaar, literally is a bazaar really, what are you doing? You are putting restrictions in Deoghar, which happens to be the seat really, one of the places where the jyotirlinga is. Shivratri is almost synonymous with this place. And you have put restrictions on the Hindus instead of giving them security. And you want Amit Shah to come there and do what? Blow his CT in the chalk. Your chief minister has not even visited. Have you seen the scale of this violence? Rahul Gandhi has not even tweeted, and he talks about मोहब्बत की दुकान खोल रहा हूँ, नफरत की बाजार बंद कर रहा हूँ. यहाँ तो नफरत का बाजार सर खुला हुआ है.
First of all,
where is the Congress?
First of all, I don't expect Amit Shah to blow any city because the most honorable Home Minister
was
incompetent in Delhi where 2 riots happened underneath his nose.
Gehlot said this in Rajasthan.
Nose.
He
2
said,
riots happened
Modi and Shah are responsible
in Delhi.
For the...
They are. The BJP. Who is the Supreme Court pulling up? Is it pulling up people from the Congress? Is it pulling up people from Hindus or minorities? No. It's pulling up people associated with the BJP. They are the ones spreading the hate wire. They are the ones who are creating hate speech in this country. The Supreme Court.
Which people? Which people are associated?
The people.
No, how are you saying they're associated
with the people who are associated?
Who are the people
in creating this environment of hate?
Who
are getting protection by the government?
Name these people.
You know the people
who
have Sansats in Jantar Mantar calling for the country secularism to be thrown out. They haven't been arrested. Members of the BJP in Jantar Mantar. Members of the BJP in Jantar Mantar.
Name the person.
I will not name people. You know it very well.
I don't know
At
the names.
Jantar Mantar, they had that the constitution be thrown out, secularism be thrown out, the country be converted into a
on the
religious.
fringe. Anyone on the fringe.
He's a BJP member.
One second. Anyone on the fringe, on the Hindu right, and there are some lunatics.
Members of the BJP.
One second. No, are easily conflated with members of the BJP. But one second.
Card-holding member of the BJP.
Let me finish. And Asaduddin Owaisi, who's a mainstream MP, with whose party allies of the Congress have had electoral understandings, is also, viewers, the B team of the BJP. The Aam Aadmi Party is also the B team of the BJP. The BJP must be a franchisee.
It is.
No, it
a franchisee
isn't.
of
And
hate.
that is- and
and
that is- and
Owaissi's
this is
brother was
exactly
thrown
what
in
I'm
jail
saying.
by the Congress for spreading hate.
Cannot,
and therefore he's helping the
I asked you a
BJP.
very simple
Owaisi
question.
is the B team of the BJP.
Tehseen
His
Saab, I
brother
asked
was
you a very
thrown in
simple
jail
question.
for spreading hate against Hindu
Mr.
gods and goddesses.
Mr.
Therefore
Tehseen-
he's helping the BJP.
Mr. Tehseen Poonwalla, it's
Is
very
Amit
simple.
Shah incompetent to act against Owaisi?
No, hang on. You had Masood, that MLA, Mr. Masood, Imran Masood.
He's in SP now.
He was in SP now, but he was very much part and parcel of your party. Was
And
he
he went
also?
to jail.
Was he also? Was
And
he
he went
also?
to
Hang on.
jail.
Was he also BJP agent? Anyhow, 1 minute. I just want to come back. There was another cleric called Toki Raza. Priyanka Gandhi shared the stage with him. Viewers, he said the most vile things. Was he also a Congress B team member? Must have been, if he shook hands with Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Anyhow, I asked the question, and look how it was not answered. The question was, law and order is a state subject. Instead of penalizing those that led this, your mindset, the Congress and Jharkhand government's mindset penalizes the victims. Their freedom to pursue their beliefs have been proscribed. In the seat where Lord Shiva takes the form, his worshipable form. Mr. Poonwalla, if that is not deep-seated bias, what is?
May I answer that?
Yeah.
Mahashivratri in Jharkhand will be celebrated with pomp and with fanfare.
Under curfew?
It's only
It is
temporary.
under curfew.
No, it's
Deoghar.
only temporary.
No, sir, it is right up till Saturday.
But they are easing the restrictions.
They're not easy. Who told you they're easy? Who is someone picked up the
Check
phone
it
and called
tomorrow.
you? Karan
Report it tomorrow.
Verma wants
Please
to come
report
in.
it tomorrow.
Karan Verma, can you explain to Tehseen Poonwalla how, whether it is DMK government where the Congress was in power, or the Aghadi government where the Congress was supporting the Shiv Sena, or in Jharkhand where the Congress is supporting, and let me be very honest, the JMM, and in Bengal where the Congress was in alliance with the left, they paraded hate mongers. Can you remind him? And what does that tell us?
Right. You know, Rahul, see, the Congress has always partnered with all of these people. And he's talking about AIMIM. The Congress was in bed with AIMIM as well. They've been in bed with IUML, Indian Union Muslim League, with ISL, Indian Secular League, with AUDF. I mean, every single rabble-rouser, every single communal rabble-rouser, and the Congress is there. It was the Congress government in alliance in Tamil Nadu in 2012 when in Perambur district, Koltar village, 70% of the population had become Muslim, and an affidavit was passed that no processions, no idol worship would be allowed. No less than the Madras High Court had to intervene and reprimand them. That how can you allow this in a secular country like ours? The truth is, Rahul, Sanatan has always been targeted and will be targeted. And you started the show with this question, why is Sanatan targeted? I'll tell you why it's targeted. Because it is the only thing standing in the way of complete Abrahamization. Right from Leicester to Melbourne to India, everywhere. They understand that only Sanatan can actually give power to people, can allow different schools of thoughts. It has room for homosexuals, it has room for believers, non-believers. Otherwise, you have to subscribe to a book, a prophet, a doctrine. These Maulvis, these churches, these Catholics, they want to control us. The fact is, Sanatan has been under attack, and it will be until and unless we have someone who has the power and the temerity like a Yogi Adityanath had in UP. I am talking about solutions. Last year, Rahul,
we'll come to
around
the
this time,
solutions.
Hemant Soren
No, hang on, Karan Verma, we'll come to the solutions. We'll talk about the solutions, that's for another time. But you've identified this, One second, just one second. Karan Verma, lower his fader. 1 second. I just want to step in here. We'll look at the solutions at another time. Let's not speak over each other, Karan Bhai. We'll look at the solutions at another time. I am first more about getting people to identify the source of the problem. People like Majid Hydari will smirk and smile. They don't care. There is so much suspicion today in the valley of ordinary Hindus that they are targeted, and when there is a delimitation exercise, which is legitimized by the courts, they are saying that the demography of Kashmir will be changed to allow for people as if they own every square inch of Kashmir. Indians, all Indians own Kashmir. Ishkaran Bhandari, how do you respond to what people like Tehseen Poonwalla say tonight?
Firstly, I think Tehseen is speaking bumkum today, where he says all this nafrat came after 2014 when BJP came to power. I will not even talk about 1984 riots. Bhagalpur, Congress government, 1,000 people killed, late 1980s. That was love being distributed on the streets of Bihar. And BJP was a 2 MP party and neither in the state. So let us first have a fact check of when the violence is occurring and from when the violence is going on. Let us not get everything into BJP. Now let us come to this issue. You have talked about Sanatan Dharam and how the religious processions are being attacked. And yes, there is a long list of it. Whether it be Jahangirpuri in Delhi last year, or Roorkee, Uttarakhand, or Andhra Pradesh, or Jharkhand last year, April, or Karoli in Rajasthan, the list is shamefully long. And I don't have the time to speak here. But also there is a greater danger. Not only religious processions, but also cultural and societal. Everything is under attack. If it is Diwali, it suddenly becomes pollution is the main topic, main problem, and Hindu जो पटाखे जलाता है उसके लिए responsible है. Today, as you check the pollution level in Delhi, it is hazardous. But we have no discussion on pollution. If it comes to Holi, because a Hindu celebrates Holi, it becomes a thing in which eve teasing is done, so it must not be done. If it is Dahi Handi, it is too high, so it should be regulated into extinction. If it is Jali Kattu, then it is a cruelty to animal. People eating beef burgers happily say, please don't do it. And had karo. Raksha Bandhan pe, I was stunned. 2 years ago, Raksha Bandhan pe shuru ho gaya कि patriarchy hai, महिलाओं को कमजोर दिखाता है. They don't understand it. So be it religious procession, be it a cultural, be it a societal event, everything is under attack, but they will fail miserably. We are the oldest continuous civilization and we will continue to flourish.
Majid Hydari, let me bring you in since you're nodding your head. I just want to ask you a very simple question. And this is a straightforward one. In 1990, where was Asaduddin Owaisi stirring the flames? The B team, so-called B team of the BJP. Where was the RSS stoking the embers in your state for bigots there to attack Hindus? And let me also ask you, when they return to their own homes, why are they being exterminated one by one in targeted attacks? And why, if you believe that the majority must always stand up for the minority, why isn't Majid Hydari and others standing up and saying that the Burhan Wanis are traitors to our cause, which is the cause of universalism and brotherhood?
Well, yes, certainly, Rahul Sahab, the first things first. Let's not make a Sanatan Dharma the bone of contention.
No.
For me, it's about Astha.
No, one second, Majid Hydari, don't say that. Don't say that. It is because the people who were driven out, no, excuse me, please, sir, please allow me. That's why I asked you this question. I'm not a fool sitting here. So I'm asking you, Majid Hydari Saab, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but answer my question and don't try to take a diversionary path. I'm asking you a very simple question. Their faith was the reason why they were hounded, why they are being hounded, even now in Kashmir. Why, sir? Why? And why are the people who are doing it, pulling the trigger, then and now, being called sons of soil by leading politicians, Muslim politicians, in the valley? Why?
Sir, give me 15 seconds for clarification and then I'll respond to you.
You take pride in bigotry.
My humble point is, first,
do you want sons who are bigots?
Dharma is about... No, sir, I'm coming to oneness.
Don't give me a lecture on Sanatan Dharma, sir. You're not qualified. I want you to answer. You said don't bring in Sanatan Dharma. I said why not?
Sir,
why were the Hindus? Why were the Hindus kicked out? driven out.
Firstly, let's talk about Sanatan.
Why are they being killed today? No, you talk about the question that I've asked you, sir.
Okay,
talk about the question.
Do you have a patent on Sanatan Dharam? Sanatan Dharam is the Sanskrit word for Islam, and I believe in Sanatan Dharam. I am a Sanatan Dharmi Muslim, so I am talking about oneness. Our community is talking about oneness. We say Allah and Om are one. So we are not into creating wedge. So what has happened in Jharkhand is not essentially because of our community, and even not because of the good Hindus. Because rightly said by your colleague Meghna earlier in the day, that Hindus won't.
Then can I ask you a question? If Allah and Om are one, excuse me, if Allah and Om are one, let me ask you this question, Majid Bhai. Om has a physical of the other.
Sir, Om is a symbol, like we have symbol, we write Allah in Arabic. So what is your problem with that? If we are talking about oneness,
Dushyant,
we talk about oneness.
Sridhar will respond. Viewers, look at this. Then why should you have a problem? Why should you have a problem, Majid Haidari, for telling me in no uncertain terms that Hindus were targeted regretfully for their religion in Srinagar, and the people who did so, the Burhan Wani and their clansmen in the past and of the past, were actually butchers, they were bigots, and not sons of the soil. You should be disowning them.
Let me speak the truth. The Hindus were, the Kashmiri Pandits were targeted, and they continue to get targeted because BJP government has been unable to safeguard their life, their
there
property,
you go. Was the BJP government, hang on, was the BJP government ruling Srinagar, sir, when in the build-up to even 1990 through the 80s, these Hindus were being killed one by one?
30 years of, for these
listen, don't sit here and try to justify, don't sit here and justify bigotry, sir. Have the guts. If you call yourself a humanist and a Sanatani, etc., have the guts. And forget the guts even. Have the decency to empathize.
These 30 years, BJP
and speak up against hate.
More than 15 years.
No, let me bring in Mr. Sridhar. Mr. Sridhar, would you like to respond to Mr. Haidari tonight, who is once again trying to rationalize bigotry, communalism?
BJP is gaining out of it. BJP is gaining out of the targeted killing of Kashmiri Pandits. BJP is gaining out of every pain.
Okay.
BJP is trying to highlight it
Rahul,
its own electoral motives. And that is the reality.
Right.
How are we Pasmanda Muslims
Rahul,
trying to get benefit?
Rahul, I've heard.
Please let us speak. Even Prime Minister says Pasmanda Muslim ko baat karne ka mauka do. So let me speak. Where are we to be blamed? It is the likes of Anil Ramdas Boytre. So have you told your viewers who Anil Ramdas Boytre is? He is the man who threatened to blast the Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi site, and he has been arrested by UP police, but no debate on him because he is from a different community, and no UAPA case, no NIA, no EDA case, this man. So this is how you are victimizing us. This is wrong, sir. Let the Pasmanda Muslim get their right. Even Prime Minister is saying so. Please seek oneness. We are talking about Ek Nishan, Ek Vidhan, Ek Pradhan, Ek Allah, Ek Om. So try for oneness. Don't divide the community, please. Thank you.
Mr. Haidari, when we talk about these pogroms that you are seeing on a limited scale, viewers, especially those that take place around Hindu festivals, or when you talk about pogroms, one second, just one second, please don't interrupt, please. When you talk about pogroms that happened in Srinagar, then viewers, it is about causing pain and victimizing Muslims. When they talk about Gujarat, then it is about justice. How does this work? Dushyant, Sridhar, how does this work? What is this that we are witnessing, Mr. Poonwalla?
Rahul, can I answer?
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Sridhar.
Rahul, very quickly 2 points. One, I've heard my panelists very, very patiently. One, for debates such as this, to get those 10 seconds of fame, it may work. But statements such as Pranava Om and Allah being one lacks academic acumen. So the thinking that all religions should live harmoniously in a society is very well appreciated. We have our own differences. I'm not here to highlight the differences, but it's rather better to say we have our differences, yet we can live happily in a society, rather than saying Om and Allah are the same. One, that absolutely lacks political acumen. I've spoken in your channel on this many times. Probably the panel having a chappal mala around him, calling Sita names, breaking Ganesha's idols, threatening to bomb the Chidambaram and the Srirangam temple. So these processions have happened in the 1960s and 70s. Just that WhatsApp wasn't there. There was no social media. People had to cry in their own small closets. And now it's coming to the light.
Well, no, 1 second. And I just want to quickly fact check you also on this Dharam Sansad business that you were talking about. The Supreme Court was responding to a petition filed by Tushar Gandhi about the Dharam Sansad specifically. Now, viewers, let me also tell you, when things like this take place, and there is obvious hate, there is a MP from the MIN, and I will never stop naming that MP. He may come after me, but I'll never stop. You can take me privilege, etc., etc. But he said, hang Nupur Sharma from a particular intersection in Aurangabad. Hang her. He's a member of parliament, viewers. When these crimes take place, no one goes to the courts. This is inciting hate against a person. No one goes to the courts. Even the act of going to the courts in this country is selective, viewers.
Not true.
Absolutely true.
Not true.
And I'll bring in Ishkaran on this point. I think Ravi Srivastava, we haven't gone to him. I need to bring him into also. Yes, very quickly, Ishkaran Bhandari. Selectiveness down to the issue that you are raising in court.
Rahul, there is selectiveness, and also because Om is the same as everything else, I hope people here are in favor of Kashi Vishwanath Mandir and Ram Janambhoomi Mandir and Krishna Janambhoomi Mandir, because suddenly we are having a very interesting debate. So I hope Majid
Be raised, provocative slogans will be raised.
There was nothing like this. Ravi Srivastava, don't spread lies. This is an open and shut case. It's an open and shut case, and let me play out. Let me play out the reaction of the police officer in charge. No, I don't listen to your. Your fake propaganda, sir, is not going to work here. No, it's not going to work here. Hang on. Just 1 second. Silence, please. Silence. Silence. Raviji, silence. You're not going to get away by spewing fakery. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't always suit you, sir. And therefore, when it doesn't suit you, you resort to malicious lies. And you know what you're doing? No, Raviji, you know what you're doing? You are spawning more hate. I won't allow you to speak if you're going to spawn hate. Everyone else has been reasonable. They might be in denial, fair enough, but they have not provoked on this show. And I will not allow Ravi Srivastava to suggest, mangle the facts, to create a sense of alienation in innocent minds. That is an act, viewers, of illegality. This is the problem. You talk about an attack on Hindus, they will turn it around and say it's a conspiracy. You talk about Gujarat, and they will say that this is about India's secular credentials, its democracy, the essence of what it sees itself as in the mirror. Viewers, enough of this. Sanatan is under siege, and people need to first acknowledge this and then address it. You can tweet to us using that hashtag. I'd like to hear from you. I want to move on